When rights become permissions. It's May 30th, 2026. Welcome to yes2hellwith.com. I recently made a video and I asked a simple question. Where is the victim? Millions of Americans realize that people are punished every day without any injured party ever appearing. But today I want to ask an even more important question. When did rights become permissions? Think about it. If you need government permission to exercise a right, is it still a right? Or has it become a mere privilege? The founders did not speak of government granting rights. They spoke of rights that already existed, rights that came before government, rights that government was forbidden to violate. The right to speak, the right to worship, to defend oneself, the right to labor, the right to travel, the right to own property. These rights were not created by politicians. They were recognized as part of the natural liberty of man. Yet somewhere along the way, America underwent a transformation. Activities once considered matters of personal freedom slowly became matters of government approval. Permits, licenses, registrations, applications, fees, renewals, permissions. Today, millions of Americans ask permission to do things their grandparents considered ordinary exercises of freedom. And most never stop to ask why. Because once permission becomes normal, freedom begins to look unusual. People don't know what freedom is anymore. And perhaps the greatest danger is not found in Washington. It is found in city halls and county offices all across the fruited plain. Because many of the people we elect locally possess little understanding of the principles they are supposed to protect. They enter office on opinions. They enter office on personalities. They enter office on ego. And once elected, they often become servants of the municipal corporation rather than guardians of the people's freedom. Ask yourself a simple question. How many city council members can explain the difference between a right and a privilege? How many planning commissioners understand common law? How many code enforcement officers can identify the constitutional limits of their authority? How many local officials understand that government was created to secure rights rather than regulate every aspect of human behavior? Too often the answer is obvious. They know the code, they know the ordinance, they know the procedure, but they do not know the principles that are supposed to limit the use of power. And that is how freedom disappears, not through tanks, not through armies, not through dramatic declarations, but through countless local officials who believe that every problem requires another rule, another permit, another fee, another restriction, and another layer of control. A republic requires statesmen. It requires men and women who understand freedom itself, who understand restraint, who understand that authority without limits becomes tyranny. Instead, many communities elect managers, administrators, regulators, people who see citizens as subjects to be directed rather than free men and women whose rights must be protected. And when citizens stop demanding wisdom, knowledge, and constitutional understanding from those they elect, they should not be surprised when liberty continues to disappear. Because freedom is not lost first in Washington. Freedom is lost when people closest to power no longer understand the purpose of power itself. The greatest expansion of power rarely comes through force. It comes through habits. Generation after generation simply accepts what the previous generation questioned, and eventually no one remembers the difference between a right and a privilege. The Liberty Dialogues ask questions that modern systems avoid. not because the answers are comfortable, but because liberty depends upon asking them. When did rights become permissions? And more importantly, when did Americans stop noticing? And as always, may truth reign supreme.